welcome back, and I'm so excited to be able to start official workouts. We've had an awesome summer and fall workouts, put ourselves in position now to attack official practice. And in my first 2 years of just finally having 8 juniors and seniors, I think really helps in the practice setting. We can push these kids so much harder than we ever could before to get the growth that we need to compete in the ACC. And so I'm excited about that. I'm excited about our newcomers. Obviously, 2 of those, Mary Dunn, who's a 5th to 7th year, I don't know how old she is, player from Youngstown, which getting to bring her back home, Pittsburgh kid, and being able to do that and have 1 year with her. She's really brought a great energy and a skill set to our basketball team. And then Malia Johnson, a freshman, who's really surprised me in a lot of ways of just things I think she'll be able to do at this level. And again, it was so weird recruiting those kids because we didn't get to go watch them very much. And we saw her online and saw her as a young kid, but during COVID we weren't able to get out and evaluate as much. And so whenever she got here, we were really surprised and pleased with where she's at. But again, so much of it, obviously, having our full team back is exciting. Now, whenever I say stuff, they know most of the time what I'm at least talking about. And so that's been really different and good. And now we can move to that next level. And we've talked a lot with them about level up. We've got to take that next step, next level, in order to have a chance to play in March.
What is that next level in your opinion, and where is the belief structure that next level can be reached?
Yeah, obviously having 8 juniors and seniors helps in that belief. That experience in this conference and in the country is you have to have players who have been through the wars and understand what it takes. And then also I think that next level is we've got a team now who works extremely hard, and now that next level is knowing how and why to do things. And and that I think that's what we're doing now, is just having the skill set and then knowing why that you do what you do rather than just playing hard to play hard. Now you have to know why. And so that's what we're learning and growing in every day. And with that, it's the mentality. It's every step of the way at this level is all about mentality. Everybody shows up, and then now what are you going to do that your mentality is better and you want to win more than someone else?
How does that translate? I know we're in early October, but how do you hope that translates into wins? Because ultimately, at the end of the day, it does come down to the W.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And and we're competing every day, and that's been a huge focus of our basketball team, is knowing our why. Why are we here? Why are we doing what we do? And then you've got to perform like that every day. You've got to compete and practice like it's the game. But the competition piece for me is something I don't think we could have done the last couple of years, as we were trying to get so many new players and new faces. And now we're all about competition.
Lance, 2 years ago compared to last year, you were in games much more last year than you were 2 years ago. How do you take that next step and win those games now and kind of get over that hump? Like, how do you go about that during this time to get to that point?
Yeah, it was so interesting, and in last season of what COVID did, and just really we felt like we had a lot of pieces that now at least they knew what we were talking about. They didn't always know how to do it, but they could compete for minutes and be in games. They still didn't know how to win. And so that's what our major focus has been. And obviously, I've said all along is so many. You look at so many of the games we lost. It was junior and seniors, junior and seniors, junior and seniors, and now we are juniors and seniors. And so I think that experience and that understanding at this level, it takes the place of everything else. Is that now, whenever you go and the importance of every possession, and so we're working on that every day. But the competition level is so much higher than it's ever been since I've been here during practice.
Yeah. when you look at the ACC right now, you mentioned juniors and seniors. It's obviously still a very strong conference. Is it what it was 5 years ago? Is it what it was when you started here? I mean, where's kind of the league gone as a whole, do you think?
Yeah, no, obviously I think we're the best conference in the country, and as team per team all the way through it, and and with the transfers and all of those, it'll be interesting to see how everybody shakes down. And so many of the teams, we don't know exactly what they're going to be like yet, and but I think you look up and down the ACC, and every team is competitive, and and has a chance to go to the NCAA tournament, and so we want to be one of those teams that are competing and playing at that level.
Lance, just how coachable is this group in particular? Obviously, last year was an anomaly in a lot of ways. Just how do you view this year? Maybe if you have stern words, just the response, and hopefully that channels into games, win or lose.
Yeah, well, first off, I think what all of us went through last year is the resiliency of this group to do what they had to do last season. I learned a lot about them, and so now, whenever we were pretty much isolated together for long periods of time, is that you really learn to build and know what each other and who each other are all about. And so that's something I think that really, for this group of young women, and now they want it, and before, I think us as coaches, we really wanted it, and we were trying to show them the way. And now I think it's a player-led team is always better than a coach-led team, and we're seeing glimpses of that. We still got some struggles and things that we're gonna have to work through, but overall is that they really have bought into what we're trying to do, and have done everything they can to put themselves in position.
How competitive has the practices been? Maybe starters and playing time might be more of a foregone situation, but now with the upperclassmen you've mentioned, just how much more fun and more challenging does that make practice having to have more meaning to it?
Yeah, I think they'll be better to answer that than myself. I think from the outside and coaching perspective, it's been extremely challenging, and they've met those challenges. As I talk about, is that I've got to coach at a higher level this year, and they have met all of those standards that I've put in front of them, and they just keep coming back, and they'll try to fight it a little bit, and then they show up again. And that tells again of the resiliency, and I'm really pleased with what we've seen so far.
Lance, what have you seen from Rita? Just watching a little bit today, it seems like she's kind of always had that physical presence, but is the mental side kind of catching up to her physical ability now?
Absolutely. It was we had some player meetings leading into the first official workout, and that for me was one of the biggest takeaways. Was before her first 2 years, everything was new, in that competitive nature to offense, every bit of it was new, and then to watch her now understand and now add that next layer is that she's really been a huge part of, and just watching her grow has been really, really fun. And but yeah, no, she's had a great summer and fall, and I'm excited to see her put it even more together. But yeah, she's really, I think, the mental capacity for now, just rather than worried about screwing up, now she's understanding that I got to go make plays and can really be a force both ends of the ball.
I know that you were really excited about bringing Bree into your coaching staff. Yeah. What's it been like now going through an off season with her and these first couple of days of practices? What do you see from her as a young coach? It's kind of inexperienced at coaching, but obviously has plenty of experience in the sport.
Yeah, well, she's got an incredible eye, and and I think an eye and a feel for how the game has to be played. And and again, I've coached the game a long time, and have seen it from the coaching perspective. I've never been a point guard at the ACC level, that pro level, and so she'll talk to especially our guards a lot on different things that they need to see and do, and it's brilliant, and so it's really added a huge value to the way our coaches all are thinking the game, but for our point guards especially, is to have that voice behind them all the time of just pushing them to, now here's what you have to do, like here's what you have to see, here's the way we review film. To every bit of it, she's really added tons of value. And I mean, she hit the ground running, and from recruiting to basketball to player development to every piece of it, that she's jumped right in and hasn't missed a beat. And she's such a hard worker, and she's really been a great addition to our staff.
Lance, speaking about the defensive piece, it's something that definitely showed its teeth at times last year. How do you hope and how do you continue to build that end to try to find that identity?
Yeah, no, and that is I think turnovers, and then being able to limit teams to lower percentages, and all of those things on the defensive end are one of our major focuses. Is we're going to be able to pick up a little bit more full court. We're going to be deeper, and so I think that all of those things will play into it, and then rebounding has to be the biggest thing that we do. I thought offensively we rebounded, we were the best in the ACC. Now we've got to defensively, we got to make sure we only limit them to one shot. But yeah, no, I think we've got length and athleticism, and we're so much better at understanding concepts than we ever have been. So that's going to really pay dividends throughout the year.
No pressure because she's in the room, but just your overall thoughts on what Mary's been able to do coming in and finding her identity here. Again, no pressure.
No pressure, but exactly. And and Mary came in, and I think she's got a really great chance to really help our basketball team this year. I think her versatility, is finding a big that can shoot the three and has those skills is rare. And she really has stepped in and accepted that challenge of the pace, the speed, the physicality, and met it head on. And so I'm so excited she's here, and I think she's got a chance to really be a huge part of what we do.
I'll ask you about the other one that's in the room.
Oh, good.
with J-Lo, what was your impression of her first year, and then how have you kind of seen her grow within your program? And it seemed like she was able to form a really good combo, especially early in the year with Day last year. How have you seen that connection grow as well?
Yeah. Well, obviously, I think Jay is one of the most dynamic players in the country. I think she's got the ability to score on all three levels, and which again is rare. Plus, she's one of the longest athletes defensively that I've watched. Her wingspan and her quickness on the defensive end can really make it really hard for people to score, and so having that combination is really rare. And I think the thing that she's done the best this summer and fall is become a consistent player, and and just her mentality for understanding what it takes she went from being a role player that had some really good moments to being the one where she had to handle that pressure of, you have to take shots and you have to make shots and you have to be a playmaker. Like, that's a different role, and it's a hard role, and so she's accepted that, and really I think has a chance to be one of the best players in the ACC. Truth. All right.
Good.